very big range of Alistar performance. Recently, he's been trending towards very great. So
if you started watching him in 2024, you'd think he's a pretty amazing Alistar player.
And it is actually going to be
And there's the Ziggs. Okay.
Yeah, as you were saying, so even with the Ivern, traditionally we see this with double AD carry. Not going to be the case. Going to be the Ziggs here instead. You have a insane amount of AD with the Gangplank anyway, so...
They've got the Ziggs for the magic damage, they've got the barrels coming out of the brushes that Canyon's going to be throwing down, and that is Tristana in the mid lane. This is a very, very scary game for D plus Kia. Let's see whether they can get it done. So we hop into the Rift.
Looking at these drafts, I again want to reiterate, to me this stands or falls for DK, but whether they can find a lot of mid to early game advantages through Showmaker roaming specifically. If you go back to the games between these two teams, there's a very consistent pattern of Showmaking just dropping waves, naturally falling behind Chovy, but kind of making up for it by having a really big impact inside. And I think that's what we're going to be looking here towards as well. Since them aside, but there was a time where they were one of the weak points. Ooh, Kellen.
Yeah, in a bit of trouble here. The Ignite already down. Kellen's going to have to walk it off in his pajamas. As Canyon making his way over, let's see whether Showmaker is going to fall to his ex-teammate. There's the rocket jump to come in. Seismic Shove is gorgeous, though.
It doesn't end up working out, but...
Canyon is a bit of a, I'm going to let my in-game do the talking rather than doing any of the talking. But this isn't talking. This is a whole lot of action here as Lehent's going to get headbutted back. That was a gorgeous Seismic Shove. And the bouncing bomb avoided by the cow. Kellen, good use of the walk strategy.
Ensuring that Kellen almost goes down as Canyon says hello again.
Yep, another shove is going to come on through there, but Canyon going to be able to close that gap. No rocks on the ground.
That's a big win. Showmaker just used his TP. Yeah, now, that's a really good punish there from Chovy. Canyon's on his way, though.
Yeah, it was Satchel charged out of the pasture, and now he's looking for a pirate as the barrels come in. There's the headbutt back. Pulverize is good, and Keen, this is going to be a tough one. Not able to quite find it is Canyon. There's the flash out. Kingen still wants it, but he won't quite get there. The brushes are set up, and in fact, he just creates a forest up here. Still gets the flash. Although Canyon is now just going to head down towards the bottom side, collect his level 6 so that Daisy can help him out. Thank you very much, Pays, for that one. And now Lucid looking for a dive. Cannon Barrage comes in from Keen. Just on the wave here for the moment. Lucid's going to have to flash to get himself out of the way. Orange is going to be eaten to get him out of prison. And now Lucid gets over the wall, but it's not going to keep him alive. And first blood goes to Lehens. And in the meantime, Gen.G are taking the dragon.
Eventually, he's going to get to the point where it's really hard to keep him down. Take another look. Yep. Being cleared relatively quickly, and then, yeah. I think they knew the moment that they weren't able to get on top of Keen fast enough. And the moment Lehens show up, you know it's done.
Very happy to be alone in a side lane. I think it's actually the perfect sort of moment for Lehens to really readopt this playstyle that he did popularize. But he has been all over the place. Now, Keen's in a lot of trouble, but
Lehens
there's
still
the cannon
here.
barrage. Yeah, Lehens just going to cancel the back, and the flash now has to be used from Kingen. Teleport invested by Chovy as well, though. So flash for teleport, and now Showmaker with a lot of space in mid. Yeah. Just to try to deny Gen.G from getting any at all, right? So it's only one grub sort of available because he got there so late. And then the demolition comp doesn't have access to it. As Canyon gonna flash the wrong direction, isn't actually hit by the Glacial Prism, but the wall is put up in front of him. Still, he's got shields for days, and Showmaker will be taken down. I don't know how it worked, but it worked. And Gen.G will grab their second kill of the game, and this may not be all they're going to get as well. Pulverize comes in, Blast Cone is taken, and the cow is left by the wayside. Pays is going to pick up that kill. And Gen.G, it's a wash here as far as the kills are concerned.
Oh, it's going to be an issue that's easy for DK to fix, because again, I think that they want to look for a numbers advantage with the Taliyah, try and isolate a target, blow them up, and then you can create space for aiming.
Seismic Shove almost connecting there is now Chovy gonna get interrupted! Not able to buffer over that wall, and there goes, even through the redemption, the Tristana. And now Lucid wants even more. Daisy not able to find Bristle and Sejuani, and the Seismic Shove is flashed, but already the threaded volley is following Canyon. Still keeps himself up, does have those shields, and D+ finally on the board.
Hey, Alistar, we see it there. The problem is, I don't think they're actually gonna be, this is what we talked about earlier, again.
The siege defense is pretty silly as Canyon's going to come down, teleport coming in as well, but there's the Seismic Shove. Arctic Assault going to connect, headbutt Pulve as Kellen gets the welcome, but Showmaker is in so much trouble. Chovy going to be able to finish him off, and now the damage is gone, and Lehens obviously is here. Chovy going to answer back immediately, but Kingen, he's teleported in. Lahen's not a whole lot of direction to go, and he is going to be taken down as well. So in the end, a pretty even trade between the two. Chovy's revenge, important.
Being taken
This is sole point.
You're looking for the team fight here, SDK.
Yeah. Kingen going to jump into the brush here. Doesn't have a lot of Naba, but still they're looking for their opportunity, and this is that control that we were talking about. In the meantime, Keen and Showmaker are just doing battle. Seismic Shove gets the Pirate over the wall, and he gets the solo kill. Can they find the team fight, though, elsewhere? And the answer looks like absolutely not, as Kellen going to be taken down, turned into a stake as Kingen, he gets to Meganar, but it's way too late. It's all over.
That's the problem with these Meganar compositions, and there I think you're seeing the problem for DK. If you don't find an early mid-game lead, you just don't have the damage. Make something happen, that could be an angle, but we're starting to see Gen.G slowly come out as
yeah, the smite comes in. Aiming has already skated towards this top side, and he's going to get through this wall as well. So getting the catch onto Keen, absolutely massive here. And D+, they're not going to allow the Lahen's effect where the support steals the kill, because every kill goes to aiming if possible to get another one. So it's pretty nutty. Okay, there's the Glacial Prison. That's going to get soaked by Lahen's, but he's still going to have to flash that wall to get out. Cannon Barrage comes in, and look at this. Kellen taking so much damage, has to flash to get out of the Solar Flare. And Gen.G, in the end, I think it's relatively even as far as the exchange is concerned, as now Chovy flashes the headbutt, Pulverize. The Mega Inferno Bomb comes down. That's going to finish off the cow. Daisy falls in amongst it all as the Buster Shot gets Showmaker out of there. Lucid in so much trouble. He's going to get thrown around like a ragdoll, but now Kingen gets the crush. Okay, finally Lahen's is going to go down. And D+, they get some control back, but they're still going to lose the trade.
That's the problem. Like, DK keep getting scraps, but Gen.G are the one eating well.
These two Yordles, the Demolition Yordles, pretty good, even at taking down a Baron, is now Showmaker wanting to get some scraps. Traps them in the wall, actually, as Keen is going to get knocked over. But this is just Operation Escape from Gen.G, and they might just take themselves a prehistoric Yordle with them on their way out. Keen going to be the sacrificial pirate, and he's going to say,
only sitting on 2.5.
Hextech Minefield is actually going to go down. And Gen.G just holding onto the dragon here, but look at this poke. It is just nuts, and there's the Cannon Barrage. That's going to buy them some space and some time on this Drake. As Chovy gets over, he's put into prison immediately. Kingen wants to be able to find it, and there's the shove from over the wall, but this time the rocket jump gets down, and now the aiming on the flank angle? I'm not sure about that one. Chovy's going to get a reset and blow him up. And D+ are just falling one after the other. And that is going to be a clean ace outside of Pays getting taken down somewhere in the interim. And that is what we're seeing right now. Even though there was some heroics, there were more on the side of Gen.G. As Lahen's, he's flashing for it. You know that he's going to look for it, and he does so. Showmaker going to have to answer in kind. That is going to be in a turret falling down.
He flipped for Elder, aiming at 4 items. He one-taps everyone.
Okay, well, we've got supportal combat here, but Canyon is going to make that one an unfair fight. Kingen's already down to 50%, but the Naba is in a decent position. This could be a fight that they're looking for, but Kellen taking so much damage. He's going to take Lahen's with him. The Mega Inferno Bomb comes down. The circles, ladies and gentlemen, as Solar Flare and the Satchel Charger, too good. Pays is going to lock him down. Chovy flashes out of the Seismic Shove, gets himself the trigger seed. He's not dying. Canyon's going to help out his mid laner. And D+, I mean, it almost got close to being pseudo-okay, but it absolutely was not in the end. And Gen.G, I don't think they need this Baron. They're just going to win the game.
No Baron needed. No illustrious Elder flip. Just good old-fashioned team fighting. Gen.G, see how far ahead they are. They realize the angles, and Gen.G will still not drop a single game in the LCK Atlas. DK gonna have to go back to drawing board for game number 2.
Yeah, and you can see the damage graph is just, it's a bigger version on Gen.G's side.
I would have loved the Ornn. I think the Ornn both gives you more engaged. The one downside is that you do become somewhat lacking in damage, and as good as Talia is, I don't feel like she has quite as much damage as something like an Azir would in late game fights. Then you're really relying on Zeri.
And Canyon this time, it's not the Ivern for augmenting the team. He's going to have to be that one-man army in the early game to get control. Let's jump into the Rift for game 2.
control that they're able to get, Lucid's impact specifically, because I think that that's been a consistent issue for him, as good as he's been on some of the more aggressive characters. I think his Sejuani impact really hasn't been where it needs to be. And Sejuani is a character that can actually have a lot of early impact on the lanes because of how strong her ganks are. Her clear is quite good as well. So,
that's actually just a fact. It's the dumbest fact, but it's a fact.
You know,
it's just a thing.
Yeah, the Nepo baby discourse when it comes to music.
Oh, okay, Kingen. Okay, Kingen. Just going to try and block Keen's approach here. As you can see, 5-1, the Shuriman battle feeling pretty croc-sided.
By the end of it, though, Kingen, I think, missed a couple of creeps too many. Also had to back off for a little bit because Kang...
Owie. As Chovy's going to get flashed into. Does have to get away, as that's first blood. And nothing Canyon can do about it. Doesn't find the spear, but even if he did, maybe it was like...
Maybe he thought he could win the extended trade, and if Canyon's there earlier, then... Or he was really close to 6, and he thought he could like dash in, get a minion, and scoop him back. I'm not sure. Might have just been a big goof.
Sneaky Canyon.
That's big, though. 3 grubs is quite nice when you have champions like the Azir. It's no Tristan, but, you know, nothing is... Immediately, the moment you get a lead, try to translate that to side. That's going to zone Lehans out of a lot of experience, King.
Here's the all-out, the trade of ultimates here between Kingen and Keen. Keen keeping close, and there's the flash out. Kingen having to play with a lot of respect. Seismic shove in this mid lane as well, as we have got fighting in every lane. I was expecting, though, playing this matchup well is now... Let's see whether Lehans can keep himself safe, as now Lucid looks for the Winter's Wrath onto Pays. This minion wave getting dealt with, though, and in the meantime, on the top side, Kingen is going to be in trouble. Does get the stun onto Canyon, but he's not the one tanking, so that's going to be a beautiful dive.
Really big wins there for Gen.G. And the timing on this dive, if they do decide to go for it, it's going to be crisp.
Yeah, there's the knock-up onto Kellen. He wasn't taking the turret, though, as there is another one. Lehan's going to flash into it, though, and not going to be able to send the ram back. Now, Pays finds himself alone. The spear is just barely going to go wide, and they'll back away. Pays keeps his life. The Canyon's unable to answer, and I say he keeps his life. Aiming still doing a fair bit of work here.
Really big there, as, oh, another one.
Yeah, there's a bit of deja vu coming on in here. The Glacial Prison comes down. It's Pays that's going to suffer the cost this time, as Lucid capable of tanking this one up for an age and a half. And now they'll take the turret as well. D+. Oh man, it's gone from good to better.
And this time, Aiming gets the kill. The Zeri getting more gold. Maybe Kingen should invest in Worm as well.
Speaking of which, as Pays, he's going to be the one that face checks. Oh dear, that is a very dead center. Tries to get into the mist, but the mist is now a black and white screen. As Kellen's moving on over, they want even more here as the Glitterland slows him down. Kellen is just looking for more. The Emperor's Divide comes down, though. The Sun Disc came in, and Lehans is going to miss the ulti onto his former teammate. Aiming has downloaded. He knows now as the teleport is coming forward. Showmaker, he's now hiding in the brush.
Yeah, it's
and we know that Keen is the one guy that kind of just wins games by himself on it. As I say that, it might be the Caster Curse, or it might be the Blessing, as he's going completely bananas onto Aiming here. He gets over the wall, and now Keen has to deal with Lucid coming in with the fadeaway ulti, and that is the kill going over to Kingen.
Individual Drake, you're not really going to care too much, and
money for Kingen.
Oh, the Herald coming down as well. The Sinner will be big, and I love this. When you're playing a composition like this that is looking to generate as much advantages in mid-game as possible, gold is... It's less trustworthy than Dragons, but if it works, it really does, as Lehans is just not having a very fun time.
Yeah, it's not a lot of range.
It's not. So, oh, there we go.
There's the ulti from Aiming. It's him by himself. He's just going to run up and murder Pays. Kingen getting the same treatment here on this bottom side, but he's giving a lot back. Canyon almost just dying as the Ram's being thrown around willy-nilly. And D+, I think, should still be able to get this out of turret any day of the week over playing into Tristana's Ziggs Ivern.
It's also, it's going to be hard to play out, but you do make up for it.
Kingen's gone for this 1v1. He's a level behind, but he's still playing.
Yeah, Showmaker has TP as well.
There's the wall, and Keen gets the bad news. Let's see, the all-out going to be used onto the Talia here, but the stun is still going to come on down. Sterix is massive, and the threaded volley to finish it off.
Display, because with double TP, there isn't a window. They will still have to give up mid lane turret, maybe to TP!
Yeah, Glacial Prison comes in onto Canyon. Redemption is decent.
It's true!
And now both of them getting into the mid lane. Chovy's out of there, but I don't think Lehans is going to be so lucky. In fact, the whole bottom lane is getting wiped out. Pays once again suffering as the dash forward. Lucid going to pick that one up. And with 3 dead on the side of Gen.G, It's going to need to be some Canyon heroics to save this Baron play.
DK, Gen.G, Atlas.
Oh, it always delivers. There was no doubt in our minds.
Oh, the damage. Chovy's full health. I don't know if they can do this.
They are not. I think they're not going to test the waters this much. As Keen, he's teleported in. Chovy wants it. Empress Divide onto 3. And he goes golden as well. Canyon has to get out of there. The seismic shove is just as good. And he takes down the Zeri. Chovy almost falling for it as the spear will take down one. And Kellen, oh man, he just takes that Dawning Shadow from downtown. And now it's Gen.G's turn.
It was looking so good until it wasn't.
Yeah, until it absolutely wasn't. And DK, they realize they're not going to be able to do it here.
I think they know.
Yeah, there's a Ram coming in as well. As speaking of Ram, he is going to head right on top of Kellen. Canyon looking for him though. The Wild Growth is going to keep the Lulu alive. Actually buys a lot of time here for D+. Showmaker, he'll get cornered. He's the sacrificial Talia in this one. Steric Shield going to get popped there by Chovy. And D+, I can feel the collapse in these last 2 moments.
Oh, Gen.G. They haven't lost a single game yet in the LCK. This
not looking like it's starting.
Looking like they're beginning. Lucid with the attempt.
All right, let's see whether he gets on in there. Is aiming. All right, there's the double knockback from Keen as Lucid's the one pulled in. Oh, Keen, I think he wanted the Zeri on that one. He's taking down the junglers. Let's check this out one more time as Chovy finds 4. Oh, it was 3 and a flash.
Teddy.
Even with the flick back there from Showmaker, just don't have the damage. In some dangerous territory, as the banana brush control belongs to him. Can they kill the hands?
Oh, yeah.
That would be huge.
He doesn't have Call of the Forge God. He is going to be able to bellow his breath and try and get himself out of the way, but the seismic shove is decent still. He's just so incredibly tanky. Teleport going to be invested from King, and Lucid not really taking that much, but they threw everything into an on.
First in line and hope that that's enough.
I mean, they can kill whoever's first in line very quickly. Pays like you, aiming like you said, has 4 items.
Yeah, flip Nash.
Yeah.
Why not? You have to.
I mean, that's bounty gold as well. You take those. Aiming with his very new, very cool looking sword is going to be pretty dangerous. Seismic shove going to be eaten by the CC reduction from Keen. And now, King in a whole host of trouble. There's the Ram, gets a couple of knockups onto Lucid and Kellen. DK still kind of holding their ground, but Gen.G are unrelenting. Showmaker taking so much damage, Dawning Shadow over everyone, and it's a bloodbath! It's decimation! And the Zeri is just escorted to the side and blown up. It's unceremonious, and it's looking like Gen.G will just plow through D+ today. There's the ace. Canyon looks really cool as he goes golden, wins the animal battle on the top side, and that's going to be it.
And the undefeated round robin yet again closer for Gen.G, Atlas.
Chovy didn't use ult, he just celebrated with it on the Nexus. Oh man, Gen.G demonstrating they're not even at full power as they eliminate the second Nexus of the Saturday Showdown. And yeah, aiming did a lot of damage, and there wasn't very much of it that was relevant.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Dear for the POG interview translation, joined by Canyon and Chovy on the side of Gen.G, who defeated D+ Kia in Week 4 of Saturday Showdown. Congratulations! Thank you. So Gen.G gets to keep their winning streak. How does it feel to defeat D+ Kia again? We've always won against D+ Kia, but we've always went to a full three-game series, so I'm really glad about getting this clean 2-0 today. And Canyon, with 600 points, you are tied for first place in the POG standings. And you got 6 POGs with unique champions. So how do you feel? I feel like it's quite meaningful that I was able to get all the POGs with different champions, and I hope that I am able to keep it up and get even more. And Chovy, today's Saturday Showdown against D+ Kia was a battle between first and second place. And with so many narratives involved, how did you prep for today? So we tried to break down what kind of champions the enemy prefers. And regarding the macro play, we were very aware of how they really focus on their side lane games and side lane controls. So I think that actually did help a lot, just analyzing the team. And Canyon, a lot of trash talk towards you. Were you concerned about it at all? Yeah, I mean, I had that in mind while coming into the game today, but I tried my best to focus in game today. And we heard that the players got involved to redo and make get a new read on the tier list. So can you walk us through what that was like? So throughout our experience during the Esports World Cup in Saudi Arabia, it felt like we were struggling a lot because we had a really inadequate read on the tier list. So I think we got back up saying, as long as we get a better read on the tier list, then it would make our gameplay a lot better. And Canyon, in Game 1, you took Ivern with Tristana, and this was your first Ivern this summer, and you had an amazing sustain. So what is the biggest strength of Ivern and Tristana comp? I feel like Ivern, just like you said, has really good sustain, and he really enables Tristana's ability to carry the game. And you guys had such a powerful team fighting. Let's take a look at this replay. And you guys pulled off such an impeccable ace at the right time. So what is the key to Ivern's bush play? So being able to set up some bushes near the pit, it denies their vision. And I think the biggest strength is being able to sort of output some damages. And I feel like being able to take that hit in the Esports World Cup actually made me realize and learn a lot about Ivern as well. And Chovy, in Game 2, in the drafting phase, despite the Renekton being open, you guys took Cassante and also Senna and Ornn, which was such an unpredicted pick. So could you walk us through what led to those picks? So because of how great Keen is at the laning phase, we weren't really concerned that he was going to lose lane. And I believe that Renekton, his presence actually tends to disappear as the game goes further. So in the late game, we realized that Renekton can't really do much in the end. So that's why we took Cassante instead. And regarding the Azir, Azir is really essential in the comp that we made. Especially against Talia when we were able to disable the Talia. So I think that's why we were able to confidently get that Azir pick. And this moment, you had an insane super shuffle. So without any vision, how are you able to engage? I knew that my teammates told me that a lot of the enemy's abilities were baited out and they wasted it, so I was able to go in pretty confidently. And I actually did predict, it was like a prediction ult, but it went through so well, even better than I actually expected. And if you defeat Nongshim 2-0 next, it will be LCK's first undefeated round robin without dropping a game. And you're also one game away from achieving the longest winning streak in the regular season. So what is your resolution, Canyon? As we have been doing so far, I want to make sure that we are prepared for the next match, and we'll make sure that we bring you a great game. And Chovy, honestly, whenever I tell myself I'm too wary about some sort of an achievement or milestone, I feel like I tend to make more mistakes. So I want to focus on doing well in the next match. And that's the end of the interview from Canyon and Chovy. And back to the space. Thank you.